Colin Powell, Mitt Romney, George W. Bush. What do they all have in common? They're not endorsing Donald Trump. Good. Now we know exactly where our president stands. We know exactly where they stand. And I'm glad they're not endorsing Donald Trump. In fact, if they had endorsed him, I would worry a little bit that Donald Trump isn't the man that I thought he was. Now I know. Now I know how nervous he makes the military-industrial complex. The fact that Mad Dog Mattis is against him. The fact that the Pentagon came out and said, oh, we're not going to support using troops to restore order in America while they burn it to the ground. Oh, no, we can't do that. We need a president that respects the Constitution. When Colin Powell, talking about he'll vote for Joe Biden because he can't vote for or support a president who continually lies. Well, tell me, Colin, when exactly did you get this attack of conscience? Before or after you sold the American people and the UN on the illegal war that George Bush got us involved in? So the war criminal George Bush is not endorsing Donald Trump. Good to know. Good to know. And three-time loser Mitt Romney. Okay. Again, all of this actually bodes well for the president. Who cares that these guys, these swamp-dwelling, deep state covers, don't want to support the president? That is all good news. On top of a great economic report on Friday, the fact that the deep state is so scared, terrified of Donald Trump, they are literally throwing everything at him. Fauci Stein over the weekend tried to regain some of his fame and come out and say, all of this protesting is going to lead to a spike in COVID. The media's like, go away. No. You don't get it. You're on the wrong side of history now, Doc. You're irrelevant now. We don't. The nerd doesn't understand he's not the popular kid anymore. The nerd doesn't get that they don't think he's cool anymore. See, he's not spouting the new fear narrative, which is you gotta lay down in front of Black Lives protesters and you gotta think that George Floyd is a saint and a martyr and you've got to be for that. Otherwise, you're a racist, you're a no good. And to talk about COVID-19 and spreading a virus right now, well, obviously, you're some type of lunatic racist who just doesn't want people to express themselves. Even Fauci Stein's got to be going, what happened? What happened? How did all these people stop listening to me? And you have to know that this whole protesting, rioting, it's being driven, it's being created. Soros is behind it. Others are behind it. I'm not saying that they cooked up the whole George Floyd thing, but they certainly are taking advantage of it. Candace Owens has done a great job in exposing the criminal record of George Floyd. Now, no one, absolutely no one in their right mind believes that what these police officers did was right, was justified, should be defended on any level. No one believes that. But the fact that it has swelled into this anarchy in the streets and young white people think this is a great idea, defunding the police. And now, on the heels of all of that, out come these swamp-dwelling, middle-of-the-road, proving what we had always surmised, that the words of George Wallace in 1968 were actually true, that there's not a dime's worth of difference between a Republican and a Democrat. It's true. Establishment Republicans and establishment Democrats, they're all international globalists. That is all they care about. And they are willing to see America burn to the ground for you to hate the president, to vote against him, to get rid of him, so that they can return us to a globalist society where we had no jobs and you were told just to be thankful. And on the heels of all of this, we're watching our history be erased, statues toppled, and now Rashida Tlaib, the radical Muslim from Michigan, in the Congress wants to propose legislation banning the American flag as a hate symbol from American classrooms. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. And all of this has been brought to you by the left, and it has been brought to you by rhinos and the never-Trumpers. Remember this in November. Do not allow the so-called upheaval in the Republican Party to somehow convince you that Trump is the problem. No. The fact is, they are terrified that he's going to get reelected, and they are throwing everything and anything they can at him right now, trying to get you not to vote for him. Just trudge on past these guys, sweep them into the dustbin of history for their sellout of America, their treacherous, traitorous trade deals, and their globalist society bullhawk, and let's be done with the Bush, Romney, middle-of-the-road, limp wrist, do-nothing Republicanism forever. Now is the time to stand tall, be proud, re-elect Donald Trump, and let's fix America.